Welcome back to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum. Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum. Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum. I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
And this is the Hardboiled Exhibit. Nathan, do you want to give a recap of where you are now?
Yes, last we left our hero, me. I was sitting in the back seat of a Rolls Royce. I am a private investigator, Rick Popewood, and I had received a newspaper from my front desk woman, maybe secretary, named Sweetie, with this a scrapyard circled. The car belonged to someone named Melanzano, one of the Melanzano family. But the most intriguing part was the fact that in the back trunk was a body.
Yes, indeed. And let me tell you what the body looks like. He's in a full black suit and a red tie. Looks like he's a large man. His legs are tucked up towards his chest to get him to fit in here. A coagulated pool of blood surrounds his head like a halo.
Always dress up for death, that's what I say. I'd like to check his pockets.
You check his pockets. No wallet. Nothing.
Oh.
There's nothing in his pants pockets.
Jacket pocket, anything?
In the jacket pocket, it does look like there's a little tag of sorts on the inside of the pocket that says Colin & Co. Couture.
Okay, Colin and Co. So it looks like probably dry cleaning.
Something like that.
Okay, so you did have to pick up a suit at 11:30. Okay. Where else could you hide identification? Take off the man's shoes. Does he have anything hidden inside the shoes?
There's nothing inside his shoes, but you do notice the heels are scuffed, and there's a little bit of plant-based residue on the soles of the shoes.
Oh.
The back of his pant legs are also damp, and it smells kind of rank.
Okay. How do his hands look?
His hands look fresh. Fresh and clean.
Fresh and clean.
Almost manicured.
Oh, okay. Nice. The sleeves, anything on the sleeves? Stains of sorts?
He has cufflinks. There is a little bit of residual blood on his sleeves.
Okay.
But it looks like it might be from the same source as the head wound.
Okay. Where exactly was he shot?
So it's a little bit difficult to see. So
yeah,
Frank sees you find this, and his face is as white as a sheet. And he puts up his big meaty paws, and he's like, "Look, man, like I said, I don't ask many questions when I get stuff in here. But are you a cop?"
I'm a private investigator of sorts, but eventually we'll have to let the authorities in on this.
Of course. And he goes to the back of the trunk, and he pulls out a crowbar from the back of his belt, and he, with some effort, pries open the back of the trunk, making it a little bit easier to see this body.
Okay.
Upon doing so, with the light of the setting sun, you can see that he has bullet wounds in his head. 2 of them.
Oh.
It looks like there are entry wounds on one side. Namely, there's burned skin and singed hair around the wounds on the right side of his head.
Okay.
Like around where the temple is.
Okay. This is going to be a bit gruesome. But from the blood, does it look like he was shot in the trunk or somewhere else and put in the trunk?
I'm personally not exactly sure how you would... Actually, no, there is a way you could figure it out. There is a little bit of a blood trail.
Yes.
Yes, so it does look like
okay.
He was placed here after he was shot.
Okay, not shot in the car. Got it. Okay. Oh, Melanzano family. Does he at all, perchance, happen to have a jadeite heirloom necklace on him?
Believe it or not, no. Nowhere on him.
Okay, any other jewelry of sorts? Watch,
Nope.
ring.
But you
Okay.
do notice it's a really nice tie. It looks like it's a velvety silk. Really nice material. In fact, this guy is dressed to the nines. It's actually quite a bit more well dressed
Interesting.
than you would expect from a random body you find in the trunk of a car. I don't know how many of those you find, but
All the time. This is my third one this week. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to take the tie.
yeah, it does have a tag on the back that says TC Taylors.
Okay, so I could probably go to either of those to learn his identity. Just on a whim, I'd like to check if he has any tattoo. Without being very invasive, I would like to see if he has any obvious tattoos.
No, not
Okay.
easily seen.
Okay. How old does he look?
He looks like he's in his mid-30s.
Well manicured, mid-30s, some wealthy socialite of sorts, got himself mixed up in something he shouldn't have. Are there plates on the car still?
No, there are not. But it looks like the other cars in the lot do have plates.
Interesting. Someone was in a real hurry to get rid of this. All right. I'd like to clap Frank on the back and tell him, well, but it's about time that you call us in so then get it to a coroner. Won't smell very nice in a few hours, so.
Put what in the corner? Sorry, I missed that.
Call the cops.
Call
so
the
you can
coroner.
Get a coroner over here.
Gotcha.
Yes.
He nods vigorously and says, "Of course, I'll call him right away."
All right. I walk out of the scrapyard moodily. There's anything else I can learn? Because the guy who dropped off the car was in disguise, so I don't know if questioning Frank would be that much more helpful, but I might return. Okay. For the moment, though, I would like to see if I can figure out who this mysterious dead man is. Don't want to wait around for the cops; they take too long. And my guess is they don't really love essentially a citizen poking their nose around. So I'm gonna head back to my office and look up Colin and Company and see if I can find an address for them.
Yep, easy enough to find. Colin and Co. Couture. It looks like they are custom tailorings.
Oh my gosh. Real quick, I forgot that I had strapped to my neck / inventory a camera.
Oh yeah.
Is it too late to go take a picture of the body?
I'm going to say no. You can go back.
Okay. I would like to take the picture of the body and the crime scene, closest of the suit as well, so I can show the people at Colin and Co. without traumatizing them.
Sounds great. Yep.
Okay. Sweet. I would also like to take a picture of Frank for my suspect pin board. Yes, I want to do a full pin board thing
Great.
At the end with all my suspects.
Love it.
Okay. Frank's the only one I've bet so far. Okay. Colin and Co.
All right. Colin and Co. Couture is a pretty ritzy looking joint. There's someone behind the front desk with a tape measure slung around their shoulders. He sees you walk in and he clasps his hands and says, yes, some last minute tailorings?
Actually, I had a question related to tailoring of sorts. Is my camera something I have to develop?
It's a
I just
Polaroid,
realized
so
Or is it
yep.
Polaroid? Okay. I slap the Polaroid close above the suit on the table or counter. Do you recognize this suit?
We do a lot of suits here. I assume it's one of ours. Do you have a date of purchase, receipt?
This was picked up at 11:30 this morning.
11:30 this morning.
Or 11:30 yesterday.
11:30 yesterday. Yeah, he looks through the names. He's like, today at 11:30. Looks like nope, nothing. Yesterday, tailored a new suit for Sam Marlowe.
Sam Marlowe. And how would you describe Mr. Marlowe?
A gentleman. Are you a friend of his?
We've recently become acquainted with each other.
Well, you don't need me to tell you that he's a large man. and that made some of the tailoring maybe a little bit trickier. Make sure it had a nice flattering fit, but whatever event he was going to, I'm confident that, he seemed satisfied, and we were definitely satisfied with our transaction.
How would you describe his hair color / style?
It is black and wavy.
Okay. Does that
Yes.
large black? Okay, does it line up with the man in the trunk? Okay. And how long did Sam spend here yesterday?
Not long at all. He said it was a rush job. He wanted us to get some tailorings in here quickly. He said that he had some sort of event that he needed to be to at 12. So with the expedited pricing, we were able to get it done in time.
All right. And has anyone been in asking about Sam?
No.
Okay.
He goes to the back and asks other people. He's like, yep, still no.
Still no. Okay. Do you by any chance tailor for any of the Melanzano family?
Yes, they're one of our best customers.
Okay, I believe that's all I have for now. Just one more thing. Smile. I take a picture of him.
He does his best, and it just ends up being kind of a concerned grimace and a flash, and he blinks, his eyes dilate, and he's like, flattering. Thank you.
Perfect. Going on the cover of Vogue, kid. And I walk out and call it.
All right.
Okay. So he left this to go to a mysterious appointment. Lunch at 12. From here, we know his name, Sam Marlowe. I would like to follow the directions I found in the note. If I can find Falcon, I assume there's a Falcon Street. I'm gonna see if I can head north of the north side of Detropolis and see if we can find Falcon, and if so, turn right at Falcon and left at Manor Avenue.
So it really depends on what direction you're going. Falcon Avenue is parallel with Maltese Avenue. They're not too far from each other.
Okay.
Falcon on one side connects with a street that is pretty close to where you are, and then it connects to a longer road that seems to go a more rural direction called Manor.
Okay. Is there clearly does Falcon intersect at Manor just once?
Yes.
Or, okay. I'd like to go to that intersection coming from Falcon does it cross over or to T?
Let me check. It's a T. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it's a T, then I will go to the end of that, and then I will turn left onto Manor. Okay.
You follow a winding road that has a couple of residential houses, just a small scattering of businesses, but it works its way up a bluff, and it looks like there is an end to this road, and it is a manor, likely where the road got its name.
Ah, I see. I have a hunch that this might be the Melanzano Manor. Is there a gate, or can I drive right up?
There's no gate.
Okay. Then I'll take my beat-up old car and I'll drive straight up to the front and see who will talk to me.
There's quite a bit of parking. In fact, it looks like there's a parking lot right here in front of the manor.
Oh my.
There's only one other car here, though.
Is this a very nice car? Rolls Royce? What are we looking at?
Nicer than yours, but not as nice as the car in the lot.
An accomplishment, truly. Just in case I bite the dust, I'm going to take its license plate number.
Of course, easy enough to do.
And I'm going to go up to... Is there anyone in the car?
It's empty.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to go up to the manor and see if I can find a doorbell or something.
There is a doorbell. There is also a sign on the front door that says, "Sorry, we are closed."
Oh, is there a name for it? Is there a sign that says what business this is?
Yes, it says Huan Yu Manor.
How do you spell that?
HUAN space YU.
Huan Yu
Manor.
Manor.
That's the name of a listener.
I was like, that's tickling something.
Yes, that is the name of a listener. In fact, most, if not all, names of locations and people in this case are named after listeners.
We'd like to particularly thank our rabbit listeners. The rabbits have been great, a great part of our community, and so shout out to Bunny, honestly.
You're joking.
Oh my gosh, there's a Lolo bunny, isn't there?
There is.
Oh, that's perfect. I love it. Okay.
Do you ring the doorbell anyway?
Yes, I would. Yes.
You hear a little up from somewhere inside and a little bit of scrambling, and then a sweaty-looking man opens the door and says, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. We must have not put up our closed sign. Nope, there it is. It definitely is here. So, we are closed. If you would like to book the venue, we ask that you do so at least 2 weeks in advance."
I hold my hand up just in case he tries to close the door, and I'm not here for any venue hunting. In fact, I'm here about a body and a man named Sam Marlowe.
He looks immediately disturbed by talking about the body, does try to close the door, but you're able to keep it open. And he's like, Are you late? Did you just expect to come here and people would be here? I do not know anything about a body. I do not recognize that name.
Listen here. Lunch? What? I don't know. Okay, there was a luncheon here, 12 p.m. yesterday.
Yes, most people call it a luncheon.
Yes, that is definitely what I said. What can you tell me about said lunch or luncheon?
Well, it sounds like you were not invited if you do not know.
Yes, that is exactly the problem, but we seem to be dancing around an issue. If you need further convincing, maybe this. And I show a full picture of the body. Sam Marlowe, age unknown, attended your lunch yesterday, found today inside of a trunk of a Rolls Royce. I'm gonna start needing some answers here real quick.
He looks at the picture. It looks like his entire body seizes up, and he looks terrified, and he says, "I knew that having the Melanzanos here was a mistake. I don't know what you got tangled into, but I promise you, we're just a venue, and it was just a wedding. There's nothing strange going on here."
A wedding? Who's getting married?
The Melanzanos, or one of them, at least.
Who? I need names.
Nick Melanzano.
2.
What do you want, the dang guest list?
I do. Do you happen to have it?
Yes. He says, you can't convict me. You have no proof. I didn't do anything wrong. What do I say? I don't know. He weaves his fingers through his hair out of stress, and then he's like, "All right, I'll grab the guest list." And he goes into the back, and he comes back with a list of names.
Ooh, okay.
At the top, so it looks like Wanyu Manor was rented for just the luncheon of the Melanzano's wedding, and it looks like a couple of names are here with their role of sorts in the wedding.
Okay.
So you see groom is Nick Melanzano, bride is Claire Loon.
Claire Delune. Okay.
There is a few other names that end in Melanzano. A few, just unless you're looking for something specific, I wouldn't say anything. Oh, there is one name that sticks out. Sam Marlowe, listed as best man.
Okay, the best man has been murdered.
It does have, I will say, it does have a series of checks of people who arrived. It looks like Sam never arrived.
Sam never arrived? Okay, that was between 11:30 was when he picked up his suit, and 12 was the luncheon, and he never arrived. He disappeared in that half an hour. Okay, turn back to the doorman. What's your name, kid?
Jeeves.
Jeeves. All right, Jeeves. I lost my question while I was trying to intimidate you. Hold on a second.
A rookie. Just a really common mistake in noir. You know, either intimidate
Honestly,
or
yeah.
be coherent. It's hard to do both.
Ah, yes, but I remember now. All right, Jeeves. What do you know about the Melanzano family? What are you so frightened of?
I don't get paid enough to deal with families like the Melanzanos. I'll just say they've got a stranglehold on this city. I don't care much for being involved with very much of anything that they do, but they pay well. So the owners of this establishment, let them have their luncheon here, but otherwise, I wish we had nothing to do with them.
Would you liken them to a mob or mafia kind of situation?
You said it, not me.
Okay. So very much hands in the underground but of the city, but looks legitimate, scare enough people, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh. He's glancing around nervously. He's like, anyone else listening? If you're there, I don't know anything.
Listen, Jeeves, between the two of us, do you know anything about Sam Marlowe?
He shakes his head. He's like, I've never heard of that name. I guess I've seen it before. I don't know who that is.
Do you know the luncheon was held here, but do you know where the actual wedding was?
I don't. I truly, truly don't.
Okay. Then I say I have one more question for you, Jeeves. How guilty do you look when you're shot? And I take a picture of it. I shoot a picture of him.
He immediately flinches, and what you get is a really nice looking blur on the front steps of Wanyu Manor. And once you take the picture, immediately you hear the slam of a door, you hear a lock, you hear a second lock, you hear a latch flipped over. And he says, please, no more questions.
All right. That's all I got there. Interesting. Okay. So Sam Marlowe was the best man at a wedding, but he never showed up. I think it's time we find out what the Melanzanos are up to for ourselves. I'd like to go back to my office. Is Sweetie still there?
She is.
Then I'd like to go to her. All right, Sweetie, give it to me straight. What do you know about the Melanzanos?
The Melanzanos. One of your old obsessions, isn't it? Well, the Melanzanos, they have a Melanzano hotel, Melanzano casino. They act as if they're upstanding citizens of this fine city of Detropolis. I think you and I know better, but
yes.
I hear their son Nick was to be wed yesterday.
Yes, the scumbag. I assume.
She shrugs and she says, "Sure."
All right. Well, let me just retreat to my office to brood.
I really wish you wouldn't do that.
Sorry, it's bad. It's this or the bar. All right. I'm gonna go into my office, and I'm going to give Bunny a pat, and I should have picked Bunny up some bunny food or something.
Bunny starts nibbling on the red tie that you got from the crime scene.
Hey! That's expensive. I toss my hat so in there so Bunny can nibble on that instead.
She happily nibbles on your hat.
Okay. So I want to look up Melanzano in the phone book.
There are quite a few names. In the business section, there is exactly what Sweetie said. There is a Melanzano hotel and a Melanzano casino. There's also a Melanzano street, which it looks like the aforementioned casino and hotel are both on the street.
Oh, wow.
It looks like they have their roots in deep here. Or sorry, their claws in deep in Detropolis City.
Okay.
As far as names go, there is a Nick Melanzano. There's also a Luca Melanzano, a Devin Melanzano, an Asher Melanzano, a dozen other Melanzanos.
Smokes.
It's difficult to know who is who. It looks like it's a pretty big family.
Okay. I'm going to focus on Nick. Does Nick have an address?
Nick does not have an address. He has a phone number.
Okay. Then I would like to write down that number.
Easy enough.
Okay. And then I'd also like to look up Claire Loon.
Claire Loon? Yep, easy enough to find. You know what? I'll say that Nick Melanzano does not have an address listed. Claire Loon does. Whether Nick got his
Okay.
address nixed from the papers. It's unclear, but Claire does have an address.
I would like to write down her address.
Somewhere on Washington Street.
Cool. Last, I would like to look up Sam Marlowe. See if I can find him anywhere.
Sam Marlowe. It doesn't look like he's anywhere in this book.
Fascinating. Out of town. Okay. Before I go to my phone, I would like to just quickly flip through my case files, if they're organized enough, and see if Melanzano comes up. It's apparently one of my old obsessions.
If you go far enough back in your case files, it looks like you have some files that were taken from the desk of the DA, the district's attorney's office.
Okay.
Rick Pulpwood, your name is signed at the bottom of some of these forms. It looks like you were employed there.
Oh.
And looks like some of the civil and otherwise cases, frequently the name of Melanzano would pop up.
Okay. Could you give me an example?
It looks like there's some digging into the business practices of the Melanzanos. It does look like, for what it's worth, your role in these is not so much antagonistic as it is just involved, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like you have a vendetta against them. It looks like whatever body you're inhabiting has dealt with cases with them, maybe before you were ever a private eye.
But it's not like I have some secret conspiracy board.
It looks like if you're in the criminal justice system to any extent, you are involved with the Melanzanos.
All right. Then let's give Nick Melanzano a call.
I did this to you. I did 2 M names.
The
end in O. Yep. Nick Melanzano. You give a call, and it rings, and it rings, and it rings, and it rings. No answer.
Ain't that just the way? Okay. Then, with that lead dead, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can track down Claire Loon. I know it's late, but
yeah, it's
going to.
At this point, it's in the afternoon. Not quite sunset, but it's definitely in the latter half of the afternoon.
Okay. I'm going to go to Claire Loon's address and see if I can find her. But something tells me she might not be home, as I guess they did get married yesterday.
So you go to the address, and this is not the nicest part of town. It leads you to an apartment complex, and her apartment is on the 2nd floor. You go up to it, and do you knock? Do you ring the doorbell?
Does it look like there's anyone home, lights on, or...
Yes, there are lights on.
Okay, I do. I'll knock.
You knock, no response.
I will ring the doorbell.
No response.
Ooh,
But at this point, you spot a woman walking down the balcony deck of this apartment complex, and she stops in her tracks when she sees you. And she's got red hair, and her face is dappled with freckles. And she says, "Did Nick send you?"
Yes.
She's like, "Well, I don't want to hear anything about it." And she pushes you out of the way, and she opens the door with a key. Then within the security of her apartment, you assume, she lets her head poke out a peek, and she says, "You can tell him to go suck an egg," and slams the door.
I knock on the apartment again. No answer?
No answer, but you also didn't hear any footsteps. She's probably immediately behind the door.
I believe you got off on the wrong foot. Now, I have some follow-up questions. First of all, what kind of egg would you like Nick to eat? Hard-boiled, scrambled, deviled?
Considering how many deviled eggs there were at our wedding, I assume he likes that kind. They better be rotten, though.
Ma'am, do you happen to be Claire Loon?
So what if I am?
Well, when I said I was here because of Nick, I meant I am here more accurately, because of Nick's best man, Sam Marlowe.
What about him?
Did you see him at all yesterday?
No, he stood us up. He was supposed to come, and I am dealing with a very difficult situation right now. I would appreciate it if you left my apartment.
I am also dealing with a very serious, difficult situation right now, and I would appreciate some questions answered, seeing as Sam turned up dead this morning.
She opens the door, but just a crack, and she says, "What?"
My question exactly. Now, from your behavior, it seems that something went wrong with the wedding, as you are not with Nick and are, for some reason, angry with him. So, I think we'd better start from the beginning. What exactly happened yesterday?
She says...
I'm just a sucker for tea, so also.
She says, "Look, if the Melanzanos... If there was something that went wrong, if that guy died, I can assure you that I had nothing to do with it. I was at the wedding. I assume that he was not there. I never saw him. Listen, if you want to talk to Nick, you can find him at the Ibis Club, I'm sure. But otherwise, I had a wedding that fell apart, and I have no desire to be involved with any of the shenanigans of that family or Sam or anyone else."
Well, fair enough. Sounds like you've had a rough go of it. But is there anything else that you can tell me about Sam, just in general?
He was shifty.
Shifty. Did he work with the Melanzano family or just a friend?
He was a very good friend of Nick's, but I think that friendship might have been one way. I think Sam would have stabbed him in the back in the heartbeat.
Whoa. What makes you say that?
It's just my read on him. He was constantly mooching off of Nick, doing little favors for Nick here and there, but otherwise, well, I'd say he was just as rotten as they come.
Rotten as they come. Was Sam Marlowe from around this town?
No, he was... Why am I talking to you? He came from out of town. Goodbye. She slams the door.
All right. Pleasure to meet you, miss. And I take a picture of her door, since I don't think she's going to open it up again. Okay, so you can find Nick at the Ibis Club. Ooh, I wonder what happened at their wedding. And it has to be connected. I should have asked her who didn't show up to the luncheon, or if anyone was late, or had blood on their hands.
Now that you mention it.
Wow, yeah. Nick had to get a whole new suit because it was just blood covered. Oh my gosh. Strange. Okay, hold on a second. Oh. He's the best man. So the note in the car that said "introduce myself," drunk tattoo story about when you first met him. I've been walking up and down stairs all day and he knows why. That's got to be maybe like a best man speech at the luncheon. So maybe Nick has a wild drunk tattoo story, how you first met Nick, and then walking up and down stairs all day and he knows why. And he knows why. He's just getting real swole. Gotta show off those calves. Okay. I would like to go back to my office and take a peek at the Ibis Club in the phone book. Oh, actually, you know what? I would like to put the phone book in my inventory at this point.
Yep, you can do that. I actually sort of assumed you had it. So, but yeah, you can look it up easily. It's easily found.
Then that is my next destination.
The Ibis Club. You have to walk downstairs to get in to it. It's in the basement floor of a building. The interior of the Ibis Club is smoky and smells like beer. Tables and chairs point towards a bandstand and a stage. Scarlet curtains are slightly parted. You can see through the crack a lady sporting more feathers than a peacock.
Ooh.
She's guzzling down a glass of water. Though the furnishings lead the eye towards the stage, people's body language and glances back towards the bar suggest a different focal point. A man in his late 30s in a suit is hunched over a drink, clearly one of many he's had tonight. His eyes are redder than an overripe tomato. The man slaps something down on the bar. The bartender sighs. He hollers towards the stage. "Miss Vole, how about another serenade for our best customer?" The curtains open and the feathered lady hastily sets down her drink. You can, if you'd like, listen to the song.
That sounds delightful. I'll take a seat and think. Oh my gosh, no way. No way.
Every time I see you, I'm on cloud nine. Thought you were the one, but I'm left to pine. For wouldn't it be swell? Wouldn't it be swell if I could somehow break the spell? 'Cause every time you say you don't feel the same, every time you scramble to town to stay, don't I know my place? Say you need your space. It's always egg on my face. What a grubby feeling, walking on eggshells. I need some healing. He moved on like a bat out of hell. Oh, to all the fellas who do me wrong, say I didn't warn you in this song. My life is a disgrace, but don't you love the chase? It's always egg on my face.
What? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That was incredible. That is incredible.
The rest of the crowd sure seems to think so. Well, at least it seems like they would, except it seems like they've heard that song before, as they all glance back to the man who apparently got the bartender to request the same song once more.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Hopping out for just a minute. You wrote that, didn't you?
So the backing track is something I got from. I will put in the comments. I wrote the lyrics. Yes.
Oh my goodness. And the lovely Miss Vole
is none other than my wife, Beth.
Yes, I understand why this man has listened to this like 60 times. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow.
Here, 1 second. Hey, Beth. Nathan said he loved that song. He was raving about it for like a long time.
Encore.
He's shouting encore.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it sounds like Nick, who I assume is the man at the bar, is getting wasted, just essentially replaying his sad boy playlist, but it's just a live singer.
Yeah. Teardrops on my guitar over and over again. Or I guess more likely probably Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah. Oh wow, he would definitely be a fan. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I want to sidle up to Nick at the bar.
He's spinning something around with his fingers.
Ooh, is it a wedding ring?
It's an engagement ring.
Oh my gosh.
It's the largest diamond you've ever seen on an engagement ring.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, what happened? So she even gave back the ring, and she doesn't live in a nice part of town. So what happened that she'd have to? Oh wow. Okay. Fan of that song?
It's our song.
Oh, that's so sad. Our song. So, who's the other half?
He jolts up and looks at you with his puffy red eyes, and he's like, "I'm supposed to be a married man."
Well, judging by that engagement ring, seems like something happened. Why don't you? I push his glass towards him. Why don't you take a drink and tell old Popewood all about it?
I don't need to tell you a thing. I didn't I didn't. I don't know why she left me. I didn't do anything. I didn't cheat on her. I swear. I didn't do it.
She thinks you cheated. What? Who in her right mind would think that?
That lady from the back of the chapel yelling lies.
Lies? Did you recognize this woman?
He is switching back and forth between like manic anger and absolute depression. It looks like he's really not in a state to tell you very much at all. He does take another giant swig of a drink, slam it down, and say, If Dad came here, you can let him know that I did nothing wrong. And if he wants another matriarch for the family, he can find one himself.
Well, I do specialize in finding things out, so if you're ever curious as to what exactly happened, I take out the phone book, I find my name and my phone number, and I rip out the page, circle it, slide it to him. I'm always here to talk.
Uh-huh. Sure. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you all about... He pulls out another dollar bill and slaps it onto the counter, and the bartender yells again, Miss Vole, another round! And everyone else in the bar, in fact, you see a couple other people stand up and leave. It looks like this guy has a singular effect on this entire environment.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone feels pretty dreary.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the bartender if he knows or if they know anything about the wedding and what happened, anything more than what Nick said to me.
He kind of looks around conspiratorially. He nods for you to join him in a back room. It looks like it's kind of a combination of backstage and storage room.
Okay.
In fact, the lady in the feathers is back here too. She spots you and disappears around a corner. This bartender, he's got a rash on his face. He's kind of itching at his cheek as he talks to you, and he says, well, it's no secret that the wedding didn't pan out. I wasn't invited, but it sounds like someone done shouted from the back of the room something along the lines of, he's been yarding on you. And then the entire congregation just erupted into hullabaloo. It was chaos. It was pandemonium. Someone flipped the table. Well, this is all secondhand. The only source I've gotten on any of this is halfway drunk to Timbuktu. I don't know if he's in his right mind. Sounds like he's been through quite a bit, but I think I heard that he was to be wed in the first non-denomoscript church of Detropolis.
Non-denomoscript? Oh my gosh. Non-denomoscript?
Uh-huh.
Non-denomoscript? Oh my goodness. That's good to know. By any chance, do you know if Miss Vole was invited?
To my knowledge, none of my showgirls were invited. At least they didn't have invitations of their own. I don't know if any of them were +1.
A +1. You know Nick's a regular here, but did you ever meet his friend Sam Marlowe?
Oh, sure. Yeah, he was here just as frequently. Two of them, this is their old stomping grounds.
And did Sam and Nick ever seem to disagree or anything?
No, they're thick as thieves, those two. Well, they were. I definitely think I heard in the sad man's rumblings something about his... even his best friend stood him up, something about the worst day ever. So, I don't know if there was falling out there, but it didn't sound like Sam ever showed up.
Well, I can guarantee he didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how they do it, but I do think that he even got Sam a hotel room because Sam was out of town, or at least recently, so I know that they were, at least I assumed they were holding up most of the family in the Melanzano Hotel.
That would make sense. So Sam has a room there, so we can check on that. Now, between you and me, Melanzano family, what do you know about their their reputation, their business in this town.
Well, that's about the end of my break. Fancy talking to you. A lot of fun. Back doors that way. He he waltzes back over to the bar, looking like he has no interest in speaking more on the topic.
Yep, I figured. I will snap a quick picture of drunk Nick, and just for good measure, the bartender as well. Miss Vole disappeared pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks like you follow around the corner. There is a back door, and it looks like she has left the building.
I go out the back door. Do I see her in the alley at all?
Yeah, you catch her walking around the corner of the alley.
Miss Vole, a word if I might.
Why, I don't know a thing.
That may be, but I've often found that the people who think they know the least are usually the wisest, so I would like a minute of your time.
I don't mean I don't know anything. I mean, I don't know anything that you would want to know.
Well, can you just quickly tell me anything about Nick? You never met him before?
I know of him. You put me in a difficult position, sir. Because the Bunny told me if anyone goes talking around, don't talk to them.
Bunny? Who's Bunny?
One of my co-stars. Miss Vole, Miss Mink, Miss Bunny.
Oh my gosh, that's good. Well, if you don't want to talk to me, do you mind pointing me in the direction of Bunny?
She's not here.
I gathered that.
I don't think she's going to be back anytime soon either.
What do you mean by that?
I think I do not like talking to men in dark alleyways.
Dig it.
If you don't mind. And she sprints around the corner towards her car, and you hear the engines rev.
Dang. So she's a member of Lolo's Follies, probably. Okay, so Bunny, Vole, Mink, and Bunny. Also have the Melanzano Hotel. Oh, really quick, this is a long shot. Anyone in the phone book with the last name Bunny?
No, there is not.
Dang it.
There's a Bunsen. There's a Bunnier. I don't know. No Bunny.
Is there an address for the business called Lolo's Follies, or are they just traveling cabarets, so they're different places?
No address.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think it's time we meandered over to the murdered man's hotel room.
To the Melanzano Hotel. Let me tell you about it. You step into the Melanzano Hotel's grand lobby, and it is grand. White marble pillars soar off of the black and gold tile floor to reach an arched ceiling. It's part Art Deco, part neoclassical, all ritzy. It looks like the architects were a lot more concerned with the place looking fancy rather than coherent. Near the elevators, a receptionist eyes you from behind a gilded desk.
I will go up to that gilded desk.
It looks like there are a couple of souvenir maps on the counter here.
Yes. Okay. How much one of the maps?
They're free.
They're free? Why? Don't mind if I do. Okay. So we have a map of Detropolis. I see some... Oh my gosh, some roads that we already know. So Moonchant Road, Spade, Detropolis Boulevard, Melanzano. Okay. So we are here at the hotel. To the west is the police station. To the northwest is the Ibis Club. To the north is the train station. And then northeast, we have a picture of a manor, which I assume is the Huan Yu. And then to the southeast is the casino. Maltese Falcon. Oh my gosh, it lines up. That's so good. Okay. Well, I fold that into a paper airplane and tuck it into my coat. I look at the desk attendant and I say, I'm gonna need the room number for Mr. Sam Marlowe.
Sorry, who are you?
My name is Rick Pulpwood. Private Eye.
She flips a little further in her booklet and she's like, Private Eye, Yeah, okay. 213.
Okay. Great. I know what to do with that. I think. Awesome. Oh, yes. Oh. Okay, yes. Thank you.
You just do all of this in front of her.
I will be back. I'm going to leave, not ask any questions in case she calls the cops. So I'll ask questions after I search the room because I don't want to go to the police station on accident. So
Good.
I'm going to go up to the second floor and find room 213.
The elevators are broken.
I'm going to walk up the stairs to room 213.
Second floor, room 13, 213. There's a do not disturb sign on the door handle.
Well, I take out my key that I got from the car, and I put it in the lock and try to go in as quickly as possible in order to startle anyone if they're in there.
There's no one in there.
Okay.
You know, the door said do not disturb, but you find yourself deeply disturbed.
Ooh.
I really just wanted to say that there's no reason for it. This is a messy hotel room. It's what you find in here. The room is lightly disheveled. There's an unmade bed. An open suitcase in the corner is stuffed with unfolded clothes. There's a side table, a miniature desk, and obviously a bathroom.
Okay. And desk. Let's look in the bathroom first.
Sure.
Anything unusual?
There's nothing unusual. There's the fancy toiletries you'd expect to see in a fancy hotel like this. There's one of the small bottles of shampoo in the shower. There's also a larger bottle of shampoo. It says Sleek Curls Shampoo. It's a much larger.
Oh, much larger. So you brought it with him, probably? I unscrew the top. Is it actually shampoo?
Yep.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, you can take a quick shower, see if it leaves your hair feeling sleek and rejuvenated.
I'll take a little sample.
It tastes like shampoo.
Tastes like.
I'm just joking. Gosh. No, it. As far as you can tell. Yep.
Okay, it's shampoo. All right. Then every detail feels important, but we shall see. Okay. Can I take a look at the suitcase?
Yes, you can. It's stuffed of mostly men's formal wear. Looks like pretty similar to what you saw the body wearing. There is a frilly red scarf somewhere nearby, though.
Frilly red scarf. As a scarf that a cabaret dancer might wear?
Difficult to say. It doesn't look very masculine, though.
Oh my gosh, wait. Just had a sudden thought. Is Claire Loon, I don't know her occupation. Is she a cabaret dancer? Is she Miss Vole or is she Miss Bunny? I need to intrigue. I need to think more on that. Okay. Side table. What is there?
The side table, nothing on it. You open up the thing and you find a Gideon's Bible.
I flip through it really quick to see if any verses have been circled, such as, and it came to pass that I was going to be shot this afternoon.
It looks like James 1:5 is circled, encouraging you to ask of God.
Wow.
If any of you lack wisdom, ask of God.
Okay. Wise words. Okay. The desk. Anything there?
Yes, there is. It looks like there is a schedule on the desk.
Ooh.
Like a schedule you would see at a wedding.
Ooh. I love the amount of physical evidence in this. This is so fun. Okay. It looks like a wedding invite. The Melanzanos, September the 15th, 1951. Luncheon at Huan Yu Manor, 12 p.m., which she did not make it there. Ceremony at First Non-Nondescript Church of Detropolis, 4 p.m. Reception at Melanzano Hotel Ballroom, 6 p.m. Please RSVP with your +1 and a phone number. Okay. Phone number for RSVP. I will be calling that at some point. I don't know who's going to pick up or if they'll just be mad at me, but you know. Okay. Anything else on the desk?
Nope, just that.
So I assume he wasn't shot in his hotel room, but just in case, we're going to look for any blood, any signs of a struggle.
Where are you looking?
Around the bed. I want to look in this tub or sink too, in case someone washed evidence off.
Sure. Bathroom looks innocent enough, nothing found. You do feel a slight prick as you look amongst the bed sheets, and you find a pearl on a metal stud.
He had earrings, or there was a woman in here. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what if...
You can monologue this. All you have to do is say, I'll monologue, then you can say the exact same thing, but I'll include saxophones. That's all a monologue is.
Okay.
No extra pressure, just saxophones.
Sweet. Awesome. I would like to monologue. What if someone saw Sam Marlowe with another woman in his hotel room or somewhere else and assumed that it was Nick who was cheating? They might have been wearing similar clothes, similarly dressed. It could have been just that morning. But for some reason, this woman or whoever was quite dangerous enough that the truth couldn't get out that it had been Sam with her. Dangerous enough that it could ruin a wedding. That they would be willing to ruin a wedding and murder Sam so he didn't tell. Oh. And Nick seemingly has no idea because of how distraught he is. Miss Vole knows more than she's letting on. Claire Loon seems to not know much, but seems to have believed the woman who shouted at the chapel, which is interesting. So maybe she knew the woman at the chapel, or something similar. This case is more twisted than a knot tied by a rookie Boy Scout.
Nice.
Okay. I think it's time we went to church.
A message from the curator. What can I say? They clean up well, but the smallest clues can softly swell, like a lover's song sung on repeat. Good thing Nathan's on the beat.